three, right?
Yeah.
Nisan and Adar. The last one.
You like this one?
I do. But I think it spilled out. But Chaim.
I get two every weekend.
Oh, yes. From the city? From the municipality?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They pass
And
by.
you don't need it.
No, I don't need it.
You give it to the kids here.
Yes.
I'm the kid.
Oh, it's really the.
Oh, yeah. Israelis love this stuff.
Mm.
Israelis grow up on it. But you're not writing anything down, Benjamin.
The same?
I gave you a task to write down. 12 months of the year. I'll start the Hamatun I taught you.
Yeah.
Does that help? Can I help you?
No. I was to study about the moon.
Maybe think about
this.
what month is today. You'll have at least one answer out of 10. You know what's sad? You probably know all 12 months of the secular calendar. January, February, but that's sad. We're Jews. We have a Jewish calendar. We should.
Okay, so none of these are in order.
Let's see what you got here.
But I really have to go to afterwards.
You're gonna go ahead. Come back. Well, you got one. Two. What does this even say? I can't read it.
Which one?
The third one, Nissan, what's this say?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, good. That's one. Okay, good. You got 5 out of 10, 50%. That's the grade to beat.
I get a blank.
50%. So far, that's the best I got here. Okay.
What's mean anything? These words? The taboos and all these.
Those are Babylonian words, yeah.
So all 12 words mean something Babylonian.
Yeah,
Words.
that's right.
They used them in Babylon as monks.
Not anymore.
They were.
Don't actually. Excellent. We got 100% here from Shmuel, except for one letter is Kislev is with a vav.
I used to know them all. But
You used to know them
my
all.
brain, as you get older,
Also 50% here. You got 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. I mean, it's better than nothing out of 10.
Yes, because
Got to look on the positive. It's a glass at half full, not half empty.
maybe you can get to 0 for me.
Oh,
Because,
no.
oh, yes.
All right. Today is Rosh Chodesh.
Yeah. I was worried about the use umbrella, but it's only Shabbat. This is I was looking in my books because I took my umbrella
Ah,
because I says no, you cannot to take the umbrella. It was raining,
right.
so I stayed there.
Uh-huh.
In the book where they say that it isn't Shabbat, or no, it's Shabbat.
It's a good question. The custom is not to use an umbrella on Shabbat. Oh, also about 50%. 50% is better than nothing. 1, 3. Well, Adar is number 12, though. Adar is the last one. But you did get 5 out of the 10. Okay. Okay, that's so we have some work to do here. I have some pages here. I gave you out, by the way. You might now you look at your notes. Now you can look at your notes. You should have a page of all the months of the year. I only have one though. I can't. Shmuel, I see that Rav Listman's in his office. I'm going to ask you just to make us a few copies of this, please.
6?
Yeah, should do it. Thank you. Tov, it goes like this. Today is Rosh Chodesh, the month of Shvat. Shvat.
So Rosh Chodesh is the month of Shabbat. I do with the S.
Today is the first of the month of Shvat. It's Shevat.
That's the 11th of the 10th month.
Oh no, we're in the middle of the year. If you figure from Nisan,
Yeah, Tishrei was.
so it's confusing.
Yom Kippur is Tishrei.
Right? Excellent.
And
Good.
then Hanukkah was the 9th month.
That's right. Right.
That's not Chodesh month. The 9th month.
The 9th month was Kislev. 10th month was Tevet. 10th month was Tevet. Remember we had last month a fast day on the 10th of Tevet. That was the 10th of the 10th. No, it was a fast called the 10th of Tevet.
So we're in the 11th month.
Now we're in month 11, Shvat.
Which is Adar.
Shvat.
When you said we had 2 Adars.
And that's going to be next. The number 12 and 13 is going to be Adar. It's 13 months this year. Confusing. This year. It's a leap year. Yeah. Leap year gets an extra month. That's the way it works in the Jewish calendar. 2 Adars. Good morning, Amram. We did. I'll tell you about it a little bit. Boker Tov, Amram. Grab a piece of paper from behind you. A blank piece of paper. Oh, there you go. And grab a pen from Shmuel. If you don't have your own. And write down the months of the year, please. Pen? In here, that's a marker, but okay. Here, he's giving you a pen. Write down the 12 months of the year. Yeah, you can give it out. But fill out your own page. No. Thanks. The Jewish months. This first one is Nisan, as you can see.
Shvat, right?
Nisan is number 1. The first month of the year. Now is Shvat, correct. Today is Rosh Chodesh, Shvat. As you can see on the chart that's mostly filled out, it's Jewish month number 11.
I remember because of Tu B'Shvat.
It's very easy to remember. That's right. That's the special day in the month of Shvat. There's a debate. The truth is, in the Mishnah, Tu B'Shvat is known as, why is it a special day? Rosh Hashanah La'ilanot. That's right. Ilan is a fancy way of saying tree. It's a rabbinic Hebrew for tree. In the Torah, Etz. Ilan in Mishnaic Hebrew. That's right. Strange thing. Why do the trees have a Rosh Hashanah? What do they do? Dip an apple in honey? What do the trees do? I don't know. We'll talk about it when we get to Tu B'Shvat. But in the Mishnah, Beit Shammai actually says that the day of Rosh Hashanah Le'ilanot is today, Rosh Chodesh Shvat.
Maybe it's considered Rosh Hashanah to calculate the. I forgot the Shemitah. No?
It's for some halachot. You're right that for some halachot, it's considered to be a significant day. That's why if you look on the chart, it's not quite a holiday. See, the top of the table says Jewish holidays, but then there's a column for commemorations because it's not quite a holiday, the Tu B'Shvat. We do commemorate something, but it's mainly a technical day of a change of status, sort of like for taxes, for tax law. For tax law, there's a difference between this season and that season in terms of the agriculture. And Tu B'Shvat is like a change of the. It's like a birthday for the trees. If they were 2 years old, Tu B'Shvat they turn 3 years old. Tu B'Shvat's like a birthday for trees. Yeah, it's a tree birthday, really. And why is it called Tu B'Shvat? Do you know your gematria? How much is Tet worth?
Tet is 9.
Tet is 9. And how much is Vav worth?
6.
Vav is worth 6. So together, 15. So the 15th of Shvat, you can write down in the second column here, in number 11, it's the 15th of Shvat. You're going to have that commemoration.
Trees. I was reading Rabbi.
There is a custom. It's a very recent.
Go out and plant trees.
It's just started actually about 100 years ago by an educator. It's not really ancient. Planting Planting on Tu B'Shvat is really a bad idea. it's the wrong time of the season. You should plant more in the springtime or more in the fall. Even is a better time to plant trees. But this educator, about 100 years ago, decided we gotta teach the Jewish people, his young students, we want to educate them about the importance of planting in the land of Israel. Let's take the opportunity and turn Tu B'Shvat into a day of planting trees. Do you know that here we are sitting here over 100 years since the resettlement of the land of Israel by Jews. I haven't had so many Jews here ever. At the beginning of this movement to settle the land, there were a lot of educational activities to arouse the importance, teach people the importance of planting in the land of Israel. And today, Israel, I think, is number 1 in the world, by far, when it comes to, I think it's called reforestation, or planting new trees. Number 1 in the world. We plant trees. It's a sign of life. It means we want to make this land fruitful and beautiful and ecologically safe and sound and flourishing. And also it's a symbolic act of putting down roots of the Jewish people. This is our land, our country. And planting trees is a symbolic gesture of as I said, putting down our roots. And this movement to plant trees in Israel started even before there was a state. It's only a state for how many years now? 75 years. But I think the Keren Kayemet Israel is the organization founded to plant trees in Israel and to develop the land. Till today it exists. That started over 100 years ago. This was a big part of the Jewish world, Jewish life in the last 100 years. Yeah.
I received this in the first year of my conversion, but nowadays, nothing.
Really? You don't celebrate
No, they don't
Tu B'Shvat?
to plant a tree every year.
Oh,
In Sweden.
yeah. In Sweden.
Every year,
Right.
you receive a reminder.
Ah, very
and then
nice.
you pay.
Ah. It's a good fundraiser. Yeah, they're fundraising more outside of Israel than in Israel. It's a shame, but it's a good way to connect people to the land of Israel. Okay, so you passed your test with flying colors, Shmuel, but I have another test.
Another test.
This is a test because the chart is missing the dates. You've got all the names of the months there, but you don't have the dates. So I'll start you off. I'll give you one for free. Pesach is on the 15th of Nisan. So you see that in number 1, in the second column. Here. In number 1, in the second column, the date of Pesach is 15th. And the Omer goes from when till when? It's from the 16th until the Omer period continues until when? Well, count. How many days is the Omer period? Close? No cigar? 49. 7 times 7, right? 7 weeks. Until, so how many days? Where does it take you? Until when? It actually takes you till Shavuot. So the Omer period starts on the 16th and continues all the way until the 5th of Sivan, right? Traverses all the way into number 3. Yeah. Next, I want you to fill in the other days. Okay, fill in the dates of the other days. I'll give you a few minutes, and you'll see how many you get. How are you supposed to know? You're supposed to remember. You're supposed to live the dates, live the Jewish calendar, and then you might know, for example, number 7, the first one of number 7. You might know when Rosh Hashanah is. Might be an easy one.
No.
Yeah, Rosh Hashanah, the first of the month, the first of the year. Yeah, it's at the beginning of the month as well.
The date. What is the date?
Good. Eov is sharp. He noticed that number 4, the answers are already written in. There's a few other answers that are written in there. Good. Do you want one to practice on, Shmuel? Or you think you got it?
I must have. Just,
Are you looking up the answers in your phone? Oh, tricky. No, that's not. I don't want to test your Googling abilities.
it's the 15th.
I want you to test your memory. Test your memory. Yes, sure. You have, I know, but I want you to see what you remember of it.
Where's a week or 2 weeks away from?
It is one of those. It's around there. You're supposed to know the date.
I have this at home.
Good, but that doesn't help us. I want it to be in your brain and in your heart.
Islam, there's also a
Rabbinic holiday.
Yeah,
Rabbinic holiday.
No, I'm referring about a different one. Rosh Hashanah from Hasidut, you know?
Yes. You can add it into commemorations if you like, to the 3rd column. That's known as Yat Kislev. Yat is Yud Tet. The 19th of Kislev is Yat Kislev, a celebration of Hasidut. I took the guys here to a concert.
Yes.
Yeah, on Yat Kislev. Some of the guys. Chanoch was with me. Shmuel. A little bit too much for Shmuel. No, it's a commemoration. That's what Amram was asking about. It's not even on the chart because it's a relatively new phenomenon that this day is marked. You could put it on, sure, and under commemorations, I would say. It's not biblical, it's not rabbinic. It's a commemoration.
It's the 5th of the year?
It is. Thank you for sharing. Wouldn't everybody, if you're paying attention. Another 30 seconds. Finish up.
You're cheating. I'm not cheating.
He's learning.
Why doesn't Ron he does it?
It's not. I like him better, Gedalia. I'll have to break the rules. That's what a teacher's never supposed to say, right?
Unless they're honest.
Ooh, no. I'm just joshing. All right. Tov, it is Rosh Chodesh, Rosh Chodesh Shavat, and we recite the Hallel, something called half Hallel. I'd like you all open up your books to page 790. You'll have to complete the answers on your own. If you don't know, you could take it from Stephen knows all the answers.
Shemini Atzeret, is that
That is a holiday.
Atzeret?
Shmini Atzeret is a holiday.
Based on
It's in the Torah. It's a pasuk in the Torah. It's the same day in Israel. In Chutz La'aretz, it's the next day. They split it into 2 days. But in Israel, it's the same day as Simchat Torah. You guys all know this year. What was the date of Simchat Torah, October 7th? Yeah, we already know that date off by heart. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the Hebrew date.
Wait, what page did you say?
790. Look in the margins, please, on page 790, and tell me what the sources of this passage called the Hallel. Hallel means to praise. So it's a very special praise of God, which we do on the festivals. Rosh Chodesh is sort of like a semi-festival, and that's why we're saying the Hallel.
What's the sources?
Yeah, what is the source? I'm telling you to look at the margins of the... Exactly. So what number? Look on the margins. I want to teach you to pay attention to the margins, to the sources. 113, 114, go ahead. 115, go ahead, keep going. The Hallel's not over, it takes a few pages. Keep going. 116, good. 117, 118, and then, that's it. Where does it end? Where does the 118 end? On page 796, before the last paragraph. The last paragraph ends with a Baruch Atah Hashem, so you see that that's a bracha. Ki hodu l'Hashem ki tov ki lam chazdo is the last line, and the first line of Tehillim 118. Do you see that? Look at the first line and the last line of Tehillim 118.
That's the format of what it's just to make sure.
Excuse me?
It's the whole Tehillim, or it's just an
The entire Tehillim 118.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even with some, they double up the last four, the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The last 9 verses in 118, we recite them doubled. Can you see that on page 796? It goes all the way up to Ana Hashem Hoshiana, Ana Hashem Atzlichana. They're doubled. And on the previous page, at the bottom of the page, you see 4 more verses that are doubled. Odcha, they put it here in this edition in a smaller font. It's the same pasuk, repeated. This is because they noticed, someone smart noticed, if you look in 118, even before that, there are pairs of psukim. Some of them are actually triplets of psukim which have the same theme. They realized that this was the author's intention, that we should double our praise of Hashem. For each pasuk, we double it. So the custom began that the last 9 verses, which don't have doubles, we're going to just double up the pasuk. And so it'll be a double praise of Hashem. All right, how many chapters in Tehillim are there?
150.
150. So how many do we say for the Hallel? 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, and 118. 6 out of the 150. Very special 6. We only recite them with a bracha on the holidays. The Ashkenazi custom is to include Rosh Chodesh. And we say the bracha before and after the Hallel, also on Rosh Chodesh. Sephardi custom is we say it without the bracha, because it's a custom. No, the holidays, you say it with a bracha.
Even the Chazan.
Even the Chazan, yeah. It's only Rosh Chodesh where there's an issue, that it's really not mandated to say Hallel on Rosh Chodesh by the sages. It was a custom that, very ancient, it appears in the Talmud, that in Babylon they would say Hallel even on Rosh Chodesh, and the rabbis were surprised. Rav, it's a story that Rav, he came He went from the land of Israel after studying with Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi. Went to Babylon to lead the community. Started a massive yeshiva in Surah, and he got there and he prayed with them for the first time. They were praying on Rosh Chodesh, and he sees they're saying Hallel. He was about to bang on the table and say, "You got it wrong. There's no tradition to say Hallel on Rosh Chodesh. There's only 18 days a year in which we say Hallel. 7 days of Pesach. Actually, not the 7 days. Oh, the first day of Pesach only. The 8 days of Sukkot. The 8 days of Chanukah, so that's already 16. And then 2 more days. What other 2 more days do we say Hallel? In the Babylon, did they do that in Babylon? Is there an enactment from the sages to say, what are the 18 days? We said 8 days of Chanukah, 8 days of Sukkot, and 2 other days. Shavuot, and the first day of Pesach. Those are the 18 days, so he was going to stop them. And then he noticed, he was thinking about stopping them, because, he said, I'm here to lead the community. I got to set them straight. But then he noticed they got up to, everybody turn to page 790 one more time. He got up to Psalm 115. Before he could stop them, he got up to Psalm 115. You see that at the bottom, page 790? But you see that it's in smaller letters. Why is it in smaller letters? Because they skipped the first half of it. Where's the second half of it? The first paragraph on 792 and 3. Before you start 116, the paragraph above is the end of 115. In other words, we recite half of chapter 115. And that's what they were doing in Babylon. And Rav, that was his special name, of this leader of the first Amora, period of the Amoraim. What period are we talking about? Who remembers our Jewish history chart? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 periods of history. So Amoraim, period 4, the central core. No, is it?
5?
No, it's 4. It's 4. 4. Chazal is 4. Chazal is 4, right? Period 4. The central branch of the menorah, right? The one in the middle. I'll share it with you in a minute. Sometime soon. I've been teaching the guys Jewish history divided into periods. So the period of Chazal has Tanaim and then Amoraim. Rav was the first Amora in Babylon, and he said, all right, if you're skipping some of the Hallel, you're skipping half of 115. If you look on page 792, what else do we skip?
116.
Half of 116. You see it's in smaller font, and it says you omit it on Rosh Chodesh. They skip half of 115 and skip half of 116. So he said, all right, go ahead. And he didn't stop them. That was a custom that developed in Babylon, apparently. And until today, we keep that custom. Everybody keeps the custom, but there's a debate between the Sephardic tradition and the Ashkenazi tradition in terms of whether or not you're allowed to make a bracha on a custom. Ashkenazi tradition is, yes, we do make a bracha, even though it's a custom. And so we say the bracha on the Hallel. There's 2 brachot. Go back to 790. You see the bracha at the beginning? Baruch atah Hashem. Page 790 at the beginning. 791. Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu. He commanded us. L'kro et Hallel. The Sephardi poskim say, how can you say v'tzivanu? God commanded us? So we said, okay, the sages commanded us. The sages have the authority to tell us what to do. But the sages didn't command us about Hallel on Rosh Chodesh. So the Sephardim poskim until today say, do not recite that bracha on Rosh Chodesh, Hallel. Ashkenazim say, wow, customs sometimes are very powerful. It's almost like they're a command. We must keep the customs of our community. And Rav let them keep this custom, and therefore it has a very authoritative status. So much so, we can even make a bracha and say, you commanded us to recite the Hallel because we must keep our customs. Before I take your question, everybody, it's a very touchy question because not only is there bracha at the beginning of the Hallel, go to 796 and 797 and look at the end of the page. That entire last paragraph starts with the words. Yahalelucha. You see that? Yahalelucha, the last paragraph. And it ends with Baruch Ata Hashem, Melech Mehulal Batishbachot. So we see another bracha. There's not one brachot, but two brachot. So of course, the Sephardim, they skip the beginning bracha and the after bracha. And the Ashkenazim recite both. And so it's when you do conversion, you choose a community to join. This is one of the biggest decisions you're going to have to make. Are you going to say the bracha on the Hallel on Rosh Chodesh, or are you not? If you're following the Ashkenazic communities, you will be saying the bracha. If you're following the Sephardic communities, you will not be saying the bracha. Yeah, okay.
Where's the bracha? One bracha in the last paragraph?
It's one. One that opens without a baruch, because it's considered to be a continuation of the opening bracha. So sometimes we find paragraphs which is considered one bracha. It doesn't start off with a baruch; it just ends with a baruch. It's called a truncated bracha, and so it does have but it is in the second bracha. Baruch Hashem Melech Mehulal Batishbachot. It comes on the heels of the opening bracha. Yes, Amram.
Is it mutar or asur that a Sephardi goes to Ashkenazi minyan, taking into advance that for some people, if we reply Amen to the Likroe et Halel, it will be considered Levatala, that Amen. So
it's a good question. The answer is no. It is if an Ashkenazi Jew is following his appropriate practice, it's what the rabbis tell him to do, then even a Sephardi can answer Amen, and it's not considered a bracha levatala. He should not say it. What we have in Israel, here in Machon Meir, it's a beautiful thing. We have here people from all communities, and so sometimes, but there's many shuls like this around the country. Let's say they switch. Some days it's a Sephardi leader, sometimes it's a Ashkenazi leader. Let's say it's Rosh Chodesh, and there's a Sephardi leading the Hallel. But he knows that half of the community is Ashkenazi. So he already, you know what he does? He gets up to the beginning of the Hallel, and he stops. He pauses. He turns around, and he looks for an Ashkenazi, and he points at him. He understands the message. The Ashkenazi says the bracha out loud. That's usually the way we start Hallel, with the leader saying the bracha out loud. But he's Sephardi, he doesn't want to say it himself. So he'll wait till let the Ashkenazi say it, and then everybody will say the Hallel together. And then at the end, the same thing. The Sephardi will just finish saying Hodul Hashem ki tov ki l'olam chasdo, and he'll wait for the Ashkenazi to say the bracha, and that's fine. He can answer Amen. There's no problem. Okay.
But what's the best option? Going to a Sephardi minyan, or the Sephardi he has no options, then he can pray in an Ashkenazi minyan?
Listen, it always is good to have a community, which is your community, and you pray there. And there's an important aspect to pray with a community that you feel comfortable with, that is going to be saying all the words that you're saying in the right order that you're saying them. And so, if you have a community which is Sephardi and you're Sephardi, you should pray there. Are you allowed to pray anywhere? Yes, you can pray anywhere. Every 10 Jews make up a minyan, and a Sephardi can pray with an Ashkenazi minyan, and can answer Amen. And all the brachot are the same, almost all the brachot. This is one situation where it's a strange thing that the Ashkenazim say the bracha and Sephardim don't. But you can see that you can manage. You can manage.
I was wondering because in the Gemara it says that you must pray in the place where you are supposed to study.
True. That's right.
So if you are
studying in Machon Meir, you should be praying in Machon Meir, 7:30 a.m. Shacharit every day. And I think Those Safar 7. Excuse me, 7. Sorry. Wishful thinking, maybe. But if you are Sephardi and the Chazan is not, you learn to adjust. But when you're not studying in Machon Meir, you're studying in another yeshiva, it's a Sephardi yeshiva, then you'll have it a little bit easier. But it's better to study to pray where you're studying. But not everybody lives in a dormitory like you are. You're so lucky. Some people live in a different community across town. They pray usually in the shul, which is in their vicinity, in their neighborhood. And so if there's a choice, the Ashkenazim should choose to go to the Ashkenazi shul. The Sephardim should go to the Sephardi shul. And then everything will be easy, and then you won't have to even think, do I say this? Don't I say this? But there are other considerations if you have all your friends are Ashkenazi and you're Sephardi. There might be a reason that you want to pray with the Ashkenazim, or the opposite. So it's not forbidden to pray in a different synagogue than your nusach, the version of the prayers. Okay?
In Mehusha, we have 4 synagogues.
4 synagogues.
Sometimes I go to Sephardi, sometimes I go to Balagan. Balagan means they mix.
They mix, okay.
They mix.
Yeah. Right.
No, well, but it depends. Those conservative that go Sephardi.
Only our tradition, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's important because there are tunes. It's not just a question of which words you say. It's a question of atmosphere. And this is culture, and this is beautiful part of our Judaism. Our Judaism is practiced in a certain style, and we want to preserve those styles. So that's why up until today, this is the common system, is that if you have a group of people that are Sephardi, they want to pray in the style that they're used to. And if there's a group of Ashkenazim, they want to use the Ashkenazi tunes, maybe a little more operatic from Europe. All sorts of influences of different types of music, etc., etc. Very minor differences when it comes to the actual wording of the prayers. Very small differences. Yeah.
Exceptionally, if you go to Yemenite, so you don't understand anything.
Good point. The Yemenites are very different. Pronunciation of Hebrew, and they sort of chant the entire prayers in that strange pronunciation. For us, it's strange. For them, it's their tradition. It's fine. But I once prayed in a Yemenite. I stayed a whole Shabbat in a Yemenite synagogue, and I prayed with them, and it's an experience.
Challenging?
Oh yeah, especially because to my ear it was all off key. Like I couldn't musically. It was hard for me to listen to. But whatever, everybody's got their own tradition. It's could be they were just all tone deaf. I don't know. Either that or it's just something I'm not used to. But the Yemenites are a beautiful tradition. Wow. Some people say their pronunciation of Hebrew is even better, more authentic than the Ashkenazi pronunciation, than the Sephardic pronunciation. But like I said, there's no better or worse now. We keep our customs. So. Probably they're all a little bit different in the way Moshe Rabbeinu spoke and the way Yehoshua spoke his Hebrew. The dialects change, the pronunciations change. It's all right. Okay, so that's the Hallel. Questions about the Hallel? We're good. Should we sing something?
Sure.
Page 796, 797. This is a Chabad Nigun. For all those of you who have a history in Chabad, you might know this one. 797, about 7 lines from the bottom of the page. Eli ata ve'odeka Elohai aromemeka Eli ata ve'odeka Again from the top. This is one of my favorite nigunim, composed by the first Lubavitcher Rebbe, the first Rebbe of Chabad. Eliata ve'odeka Elohai aromemeka Eliata ve'odeka Elohai aromemeka. The high part. Eliata ve'odeka Elohai aromemeka Eliata ve'odeka Elohai aromemeka. You are my God and I will thank you. You are my God and I will exalt you. Right? A beautiful tune. So this is the second last line of the Hallel. Some communities, they sing it and they continue the tune into the last line as well. We're going to do it this time. The low part, we're going to do the original words. And the high part, we're going to sing to the Hodu Lashem, the last line, okay? So one more time. Eliata ve'odeka Elohai aromemeka Eliata ve'odeka Elohai aromemeka Hodu l'Adonai ki tov ki le'olam chasto Hodu l'Adonai ki tov ki le'olam chasto. Very nice, Yafeh. Okay, you've heard that before, huh, Gedalia? Oh yeah.
I sing it every day.
Every day?
At my note.
At Bayanot?
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Okay. So it's, now you know where it comes from. When you're not, so let me one more time reiterate. Do we say God's name or don't we say God's name? So if you're saying an entire pasuk, like this is an entire pasuk, you're allowed to recite God's name if, of course, you're in the context of a prayer or of a class or studying Torah. So you're allowed to say God's name if you say the entire pasuk. Here we were singing the entire pasuk without interruptions, and so I did say the name of God, and I said Eli and not Keli. And some people are more machmir, and they say, well, whenever we're not actually in the saying Hallel now, it's not part of the services, I shouldn't say God's name, even if it's an entire pasuk. And so they're saying, Keli ata ve'odeka, Elokai, not Elohai, but Elokai. They changed the hey into the, and the aleph into a k sound, just to not pronounce the proper pronunciation of God's name, out of reverence to the name of God. Okay, so far so good? Okay, page 231, please. I visited my friend last night in the Shiva house, and it's quite common nowadays that the homes are a little bit small, and the circle of friends are quite large. So how can everybody fit in? So it spills outside, and so they put up a tent. The city came up and put up a tent. Especially this kind of death is a tragic death of a soldier. So you had his units, all the soldiers from his unit coming. My friend told me that actually the immediate unit, there's only 3 left. 2 of them were killed. 6 of them are badly injured. They're in the hospital. What's left is three guys. The three guys, they showed up. They got out after the funeral. They didn't make it to the funeral. They were still in active duty. They managed to switch them out, and they came to the house in the evening. There's three guys that are not injured out of the 11 in his immediate unit. But of course, there's there's a larger unit of 30, and then there's a larger unit of 100, and so there were a lot of, and then of course all the friends of the family and the different circles, and we're sitting there. Of course, he has two brothers, so all the brothers' friends are going to come to try to comfort him. And there was a teacher there. He says, "I taught Yakir in Kita Aleph," right? Almost 20 years ago, he taught him, and he taught his brothers. And so there's people from the school, people from the shul, people from this community, that community. It was such an event. They needed a big tent. And they spread. Some people were inside, some people were in the tent. Big rabbis came. There's Israeli personalities, very, very inspiring personalities, like a woman called Miriam Peretz. Her two sons were killed in the army, and her husband died from the sorrow of it. And she's a popular, very popular, inspirational speaker. She came to them yesterday. Rav Herschel Schechter, the Rosh Yeshiva of YU, Rav Osher Weiss came yesterday. He happened to be in Israel at the time, yeah, from New York. People come, and primarily they, sometimes they introduce themselves. How can you know what it is? They have both. It's a few Rosh Yeshivas and a president, and Yeshiva University. You've never heard of it?
I heard of it. I just thought it functioned like a regular university, not like a yeshiva.
Oh no. That's why they call it Yeshiva University.
That's in the States, right?
In New York, yeah. Oh, it's a big institution. It's created thousands of rabbis over the course of the last 50 years.
They also have different studies too. Right?
They have a secular academic study. It's a university. They have business law, social work, everything. All different types of, like any other university, but everybody there has a course of yeshiva study. They have a Beit Midrash. They have many Beit Midrash. It's a massive place. It's a very big university. And they have classes on many different levels. People from this yeshiva, amazing teachers of Torah. I mean, the founder was the father of the famous Rav Soloveitchik, of Yosef Dov Alevi Soloveitchik, who was the Rosh Yeshiva for 40 years. And he was considered to be the greatest Talmud scholars of the generation. Just died in the 80s, I think. Many of my teachers studied in Yeshiva. I studied in a branch of Yeshiva University here in Israel, with many of the students of Rav Soloveitchik, and then I was lucky enough to work on his writings, his notebooks. Yeah, Rav Soloveitchik. Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool job. Very inspiring.
Really yeshivas, they have food like they do in American yeshivas.
So tell me, what do you refer to? What are you thinking about? So what happens at a shiva? What do you know about a shiva? I wanted to continue. We've been learning a little bit about death and the rituals surrounding a funeral, and now shiva. So what do you know about a shiva? Mirrors are covered. Yes, there is a custom to cover mirrors. Good. What else?
Go up to the mourner and you express your condolences, and usually you're supposed to bring like some sort of dish.
You don't have to bring food. Many people do. It's a nice thing because the mourners themselves are not supposed to be busying themselves with any housework. They're not allowed to cook and clean, and so what are they going to eat? So people bring, so it's nice. And, usually there's somebody there trying to direct traffic and take care of the kitchen and feed. Sometimes the mourners are busy all day long with people, like it was at this Shiva, a stream of people, of tens of people at any given moment. So there's no real break. They tried to have a break. They announced on the announcement, it says, we're going to be sitting Shiva between 9 and 12 and 4 and 10 p.m. Of course, in the downtime between 12 and 4, there were also lots of people. Israelis don't listen to rules. They don't follow rules. Also listen to people, they can't make it otherwise. hopefully they'll get some rest. But some people are feeding the Avelim. They have to have drinks and food, and ideally they should get a time to rest as well. It's quite a trying experience. You have the sorrow, and it's good to talk. It's good and you hear stories about your loved one that you didn't know before. They heard lots and lots of stories about their son, that he was very humble and modest. He didn't tell them everything that he did. And his friends are coming and telling, we did this, he did that, he was so nice to us here and there. So it's very comforting for the family. But it's very, very trying. When I was there, I went in to say hello to the mother. We're family friends. We know them for 30 years. I was, can't remember what I did at their wedding, but I was there for sure. And she wasn't there. Where is she? Was in the back room. A friend was giving her a massage. She took a few minutes of a breather to have some downtime. But then she came out. We sat with her, and it's very, very hard. What else do you know about a shiva? Somebody else? Yeah.
So you pray 3 times in the house.
That's right. If possible, you have a minyan there, and you don't leave the house. And, I'm sure they're doing that. I wasn't there at a time of a minyan, but there are more than enough people to make a minyan. And what else?
And then you make brachas on the food.
Very good, very good. This is actually primarily practiced in the Sephardic tradition, Sephardic communities. Becomes a ritual almost at various points during the day, maybe before or after the davening. Oh, thank you so much, sir. It's very sensitive of you to notice that I would need another drink. Shh. I feel bad taking from him, but he doesn't let me stop him, so it's very nice of you. In any case, yes, there's a concept that you make brachot. We talked about it here at the beginning of brachot. We said there's something called the Sudat Amenim. Sometimes people gather to have a special opportunity to listen to each other's brachot, and you say all the 6 different kinds of brachot. You have a piece of adama. There was some peanuts there. They grow on the ground. And then there was a date. What's the bracha on a date? Right. Then there was thank you so much. Oh, lovely. Then there was a shahakol, there was drinks. What else? There was mezonot. There's some cake there for mezonot. Wine. There could be wine or grape juice. Our tradition, most communities allow you to drink wine during the shiva and eat meat, except for the first day. The day of the burial, you're not allowed to eat meat and drink wine. It's one of the rules. Way back to the stage of the onen status. But during the avilut, there are some communities that don't eat meat and drink wine, but most do. It's not a drinking party, but you're allowed to drink wine if you want, and if you want to say the bracha, and then everybody listens. You say the bracha out loud. Everybody else says amen. So it's sort of like a ritual mini meal. And the idea is that every bracha you're sanctifying God. And many times you say the name of the deceased. May the merit of this blessing to Hashem go to the soul of the deceased. We sort of dedicate our various mitzvot, in this case the mitzvah of saying a bracha, to the soul of the deceased. The least we can do for him is to try to do things in the merit of his soul. There's this concept that we can help each other. When we're alive, we know that we must help each other. Gemilut chasadim, remember that word? Gemilut chasadim, a fancy way of saying giving or doing acts of kindness. Ligmol chesed, hagomel chasadim. Yesterday we had it in the cards. We had a bracha, hagomel, God gives us. So we do gemilut chasadim to live people, our tradition, This is a strange, little bit metaphysical tradition. It appears in the Talmud, we can do acts of kindness even for the dead. We say many prayers, and they are dedicated to the merit of the deceased. We do acts of kindness, and we say that the acts that we do were accruing merit. May the merit go to the deceased. Usually it's the children of the parent who take upon themselves all sorts of good deeds in order that the merit should go to their parents. The most famous, but it's any good deed that you could be saying, okay, I'm going to take upon myself to learn Torah in the merit of the deceased. And the most common practice, as Eov says, is that the relatives say Kaddish, which is sanctifying God's name in public, which is a wonderful mitzvah. We do it every day, but the mourners say the mourners Kaddish, a very special practice that the mourners recite Kaddish after the deceased, and that's supposed to accrue to the merit of the deceased. The way to understand it, I think, on the simple, basic level is that we're all connected. Both living and dead, we're connected. We're connected, whether if it's our relative, it's somebody that we're close to. And those connections are not severed.
Are dead people really dead?
What do you think?
Like,
what do you think?
The physical body is dead, but I don't think that their soul is gone.
Right. The Ramban says, I like to quote this argument. He says, sorry?
Isn't the soul the only thing that really matters?
Right. The soul, who are we? Who are you, really? It's a good question. Who am I? Sometimes I lie in bed in the morning and say, who am I? That's usually when I had too much to drink at night. No, just joking. No, who am I? Who am I? What are we? Are we body? Are we a soul? It's very hard to figure that out. The simplest understanding is that we're both. We're a combination. We're a unique combination. We said it yesterday, or the other day when we were going through the morning blessings. We thank Hashem for restoring our soul to us, right? So we have a body and we have a soul. And so when you die, you die because you're not who you were. But the soul, the Ramban says the soul doesn't, why should the soul die? It makes perfect sense that the soul lives on. The concept of death is something which is related to the organic material world. Everything, especially if it's made in China, everything breaks. Right? Things deteriorate. That's just part of, part of the way matter works. Matter over time, it disintegrates. But that's physical. Something spiritual, why should it stop? Why should it ever, have an end? Unless you do something really bad. What's the worst punishment in the Torah? Karet. What is that? One interpretation of karet, being cutting off, is that your soul is cut off. There's some things which are so bad that it can cause your death, the death of your soul.
Isn't physical death a little bit worse?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Do you know who is Rav Yosef Mizrahi?
I've heard his name, yes.
So, he states that there's a bottom line from a person who is at the 7th level of Geinom to still make Shuvah and gets away of the karets.
Yes, it's a wonderful principle that the only thing stronger than those punishments, those horrible punishments that are described in the Torah, like karet, is teshuvah. Teshuvah is always possible. It's amazing.
For life.
It's hard to do teshuvah if you're dead. That's correct. Once you're dead, you can't do teshuvah. You lose your chance, right? Well, you might get a second chance. I don't want to get into migration of the souls and all that.
Karet is applied for Jewish also, or here it is a Jewish concept?
Karet is only talked about Jews. Yeah. So there's maybe different levels of the soul, different parts of the soul. Even karet, when the soul is cut off, it might only be a certain aspect of the soul. It's quite complicated. We don't know really all of this. We have traditions from our mystical tzaddikim throughout the generations. The holy Kabbalists speak in great detail about the various levels of the soul, the various levels of the afterlife, the various stages of the afterlife. But I don't think we have to get into all that. The very basic concept is that we do have a soul. Part of who we are is that we are body and soul. And therefore, the soul lives on. It makes sense that the soul lives on even if the body dies. And so the soul is going through what it goes through after death.
What is that?
We read it yesterday, that you stand to judgment in front of the King of all kings. So there's a certain level of reckoning being done after death. But the survivors, people who are still on earth, who can do things, who can do tshuva, we can still affect that reckoning, that judgment day, which is happening to you, the relative, or to your friend who is deceased. And so we do actions here, and we say, may they be for the merit of our deceased friend or relative.
What happens after the reckoning?
It's a good question. We don't have time to address it properly today. I'd like to have a class on Jewish beliefs about the afterlife. About Olam Hazeh, Olam Haba. You've heard the terms Techiyat Amitim. We recite it in our prayers. We should discuss it at greater length. I don't think we have time to do it right now. Okay? Yes?
I have a question regarding Ilui Lishma. What's the purpose of after Haskara? There's Suda Mitzvah. Why exactly we do this? For still elevating the soul of our loved ones?
Yes.
Or?
Yeah. The simple reason is that all these practices that different communities have a su'udah, he mentioned. Some people have only brachot. Some people have a su'udah with bread and a full meal. All these practices are things we do to commemorate the deceased, and there's a double purpose. Number one is, as we were saying up till now, we say brachot, we're going to say Birkat HaMazon, we're going to say Divrei Torah, we're going to be nice to each other. All those mitzvot accrue to the merit of the deceased. What's the second reason?
So I guess that is, even though that person is not fulfilling mitzvot anymore, because of the merit of that person, we are fulfilling mitzvot, and it will be counted to him.
Yes, correct. That's number one. That's the number one element, that we can and we do try to become better people and do better things because of our commemoration, our memories of the last one who passed away. But the second element is no less important, and that is, say again? No, that's also part of those same rituals that we do in order to merit the. But having a su'udah, having a shiva, coming to visit, to comfort the living. There's always a second element. Of all of these practices, it's not only about the afterlife and meriting this metaphysical idea of the mitzvot that we do and the brachot that we say is to merit it. It's also to comfort the living. We have to do chesed with the living, no less than with the dead. And the living survivors, the family, they need comfort, they need support, they need people around them, they need people to recognize that that their loved one is not being forgotten, that they are not being forgotten. We do what we can to comfort them and to console them. And so there's a ben adam lechavero as well, not only the chaver which is dead, but also the chaver which is alive, the families. Kavod hachayim and kavod hamitim. We do things for the honor of the living as well. Okay? I want to, page 231. We'll pray for. There's still fighting going on. There's still captives. It's really mind-boggling. 139 captives. And today, I think they're starting in the international court to bring us to trial for what we're doing in Asa. It's unbelievable how black can be turned into white and white can be turned into black. It's just shocking. Yeah, in The Hague.
We sent our the ex-president of the
Former Chief Justice of the High Court. He's representing Israel. Hopefully they'll be able to turn it around into a worldwide recognition of the justice of our cause, but not the opposite. Somehow. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's not really... Yeah. It's a part of the anti-Semitism, which is part of the world in which we live in. But Bezrat Hashem, God will make us victorious in all arenas, in the arenas of the battlegrounds and the public opinion and the courts, of justice, quote unquote, in the international scene. Hopefully we'll be victorious in all those battlefronts. Okay, and the way that we're going to put our best effort on all those battlegrounds with soldiers and with bombs and with missiles and with lawyers and with public personalities and public relations. But we cannot forget one more thing we can do, which our tradition tells us makes a difference, is to pray. We're going to do that right here and right now. Our prayers add up. Yesterday there was a gathering of over 50,000 people at the Kotel. You may not have heard about it. They were singing this. They were singing this.
Yes.
So yeah. So let's do it here. We do it every day. We will continue to do it Bezrat Hashem till all the hostages are free. Neder. Acheinu kol Kol Beit Yisrael Anatuni b'tzavara Shivya Omrim bein bayam Bein bayam Acheinu Kol Beit Yisrael Israel Anetzuni b'tzara V'shivya Omrim bein bayam Hamako Yerachem Havalei Yotzei Mitzara Mishabut Hamakom Yirachem Yotzei Mitzara ומאפל ליאורה ומשעבוד לגאולה השתף בגלה בזמן קרוב. Amen. Okay, now clear off the area here.
Oh no.
This is the way you're supposed to play the game. It's a memory. You know the game? How that goes? They're pairs. They're pairs. I'm going to try to mix it up here. Try to mix it up.
memory game.
Yeah, the memory game. Do you know how to play?
I'm so bad. It's a big memory.
It's fine. You can do it. Make some room, please. Make some more room. Basically, everybody gets a turn.
I have memorized it.
Oh, you'll see. Maybe the aid is to remember the place. The place. You're supposed to remember where the place of these. Here, move these over a little bit. So move these over. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. Take these lines of cards. Everybody gets a chance to turn over 2 cards. You don't get to keep them unless you find a pair. If you find a pair, you get to keep it, all right? 2 more. All right, we'll put them on the end so it's easy to remember. All right, we're going to go around the room. Everybody ready? Yeah. Pay attention. Look. For about 10 seconds, you're going to see the card and where it is. Your job is to remember where it is so that when your turn comes around, you flip over the card. Your job is to flip over 2 cards that are the same, and then you get to keep them. It's a pair. Okay, so I'm going to do this and this. Everybody see? Your turn. Okay, turn it over. Okay.
No way.
Nice, good for you. You get another turn. Just like yesterday you won. It's not fair.
It's not.
Ooh, okay. Somebody should have some ideas.
Okay.
Wait, there's only one guy in the dumb card?
There's a pair of everything.
Captives. Prisoners.
No, no, but it's not right. Look.
The same.
Look.
Oh.
White or red?
Oh.
Now it has to be an exact pair. There's 2 reds and 2 whites. Because there's 2 different pairs. Nice try. Yeah?
No.
It's not a pair. Okay, Italia.
Oh.
Nice try. No.
Okay.
Turn it over. Turn it over. Okay, Benjamin. Turn over 2 cards. You put it down. Put it down. In the place. Same place. Just
No.
now do 1 more. Turn over another card. Put it down. Put it down open. Put it down open. Wait 10 seconds. Everybody look. And turn it over again. Turn it back over. Benjamin, let him finish. Okay. That's somebody who's sick who was okay, I'm gonna try. Yes. Oh.
That happened to me yesterday.
I don't know. I don't know.
Ah!
Bad luck. Okay, so get another turn. I'm gonna try this one again.
It stinks. So the teacher.
This one, maybe. Yeah, and this one. Yeah. Thank you very much. I remember that. I got 2 cents. Okay. Something's still working up here.
Oh!
Yes!
Class is over. Class
Wow, this might be something wrong. 3 times.
Okay. Better no. Let's try this guy. No, try this guy. Okay, every seat. Okay, your turn.
This one, I think.
Oh?
No.
Sorry, I think it was.
I couldn't see what it was. Yeah. Obrei Hayamin. Okay, people go on overseas.
Oh no! Oh no!
You're the wine guy. Where's the other one? Nice try. But okay, Hanoch.
So was it this one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Nice. Let's keep it straight. Oh, you see the Rosh Hashanah, and that's somebody who's sick. Somebody who's sick who gets better. Whose turn is it? Yes, sir. You're moving now. Just straight. Yeah. I guess I didn't make some too well. Another turn, yeah. Oh, I think we saw that somewhere.
No, this.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, well done, well done.
Target.
Oh, no, no, okay. Okay, stay there. Alright, put it down, put it down.
There you
Yeah.
Who's that? I didn't see that one. What was that?
Uga, it was Uga. Yeah.
What you got now?
Put it down. Oh, another one. Another pair of that somewhere. Put it down. Open it up for everybody to see, please, for 10 seconds. Okay, now you flip it back. Okay, Benjamin, your turn. Put it down. Put it
You
down.
can see when you put it on, see it in the place.
You don't get to take it. You just turn it over.
In the place.
Put it down. Put it down. Nice try. Now turn it back over. Close it up again. Your turn. Around.
Okay.
And open it up.
That's a bird.
I have a memory here.
Oh.
I'm just gonna guess. Oh. Okay. Come on.
Wait, you just remember that one?
I did.
This one. This one.
Good
Yeah.
job. Good job. Well done. Alright, you picked me.
One more.
Keep going. Keep going.
And oh.
Do not get out of jail. Do not go free. Do not collect $200. So,
Wait, which one did you just remember?
you have to see. You have to see yourself.
Which one?
No.
No.
Oh.
It's right. It's easy.
It's always easy when it's not your turn. Yeah.
Alright. Ooh.
Oh.
That's the full name. What's this one? What's the card?
Uga. Tasty. Another piece of cake. Open it up for everybody to see, please. Okay, Benjamin, your turn.
Yeah, okay. Which one? Okay. Which one?
Nice
What's
try.
that one behind the van?
Okay. Flip it back. And Amram, your turn. Yeah. Good. Another turn. Yeah, good. Why luck? It's not luck. Who knows? Oh. Is this one?
Yeah.
This one. And I'm gonna pick this one. Oh. Okay. I'll go with something. Something here. Go.
This can be also
This one.
So now that
Yeah.
this person can go.
Needs to get out of the jail.
Okay, is this one?
Good.
Wow.
Right, smart.
Alright, it's 3. It's not a bit rough, but 4, I think.
1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4. Okay, keep going. Next time. We're almost done. Then we'll say we'll try to talk about the blessings of this time.
Very.
What is it?
Very.
Oh, there. Okay.
Yes, very.
Yes.
Oh
What is it?
no!
What was the Re-Yamim. Very. Okay.
So, this is now. Oh, okay. You realize you're playing a game? It's only Hebrew. Very good. Okay, very good. Impressed. I'm impressed with you. It's all Hebrew. You're reading the Hebrew.
No.
Okay, there's some
What's this
pictures
do?
too.
Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah.
Re-Yamim. Flying over the water. Selling. Business. Yes. Yeah. How many do you have, Zoma? Very.
What is it?
Dust.
That's it. Thanks. Thanks. I think there's two here. I'm not sure. Oh, keep on doing it. You're a mistake. Let's try this one.
Oh!
Oh, I knew there was two here somewhere. Next. All yours. No? No.
Again with little guy.
Too many calories.
We check it. There's like there was some odd cards. Like
I know. We're gonna find out.
oh,
For sure. I didn't take them out. I don't know which ones. There might be.
they cracked it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay.
did you go 4?
No, two.
2.
Yeah.
I don't think this is
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
There's only one of us.
We'll find out.
I think it's
We'll
only one
see.
of
We'll
us.
see. Let's see at the end.
Yeah.
Hey. Slim Pickens here.
There is 2 guys.
Yeah.
Stephen.
Aye.
That's us again.
There's only one of us. I'm sure.
I
There's
don't
only one
know.
of us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Naim Adon.
There's only one beggar.
There's
I
even
don't
There's only
know.
one
I don't
beggar.
know. We'll find out.
You have to throw them once.
I will. I will. Yeah.
There's no. That's.
What?
No.
What?
Right.
What?
It's a waste. That one's a
It's not a
it's only
waste.
There's only
It's
one
not a
mistake.
waste.
You find out.
You're wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
What's this one? What's this one? What's that?
Wait.
No, this one. That?
That's it.
Hey.
See? Took my set. All right.
Yeah, no, there's no matching.
Yeah.
You guys don't match?
Yes.
No, not at all.
What's that one?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
These I'll put away. But who had the most sets?
I got 4. You got 4.
Yeah.
You still have any?
How many you had? 4?
That's 2.
Wow. Well
Steve
done.
You 3.
1.
It's a tie.
It's a tie. Three-way tie. Three-way tie. Well done. Okay, so now, what time is it? 10:43. So we'll just say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shalom. Everybody want to borrow the game? Play with the kids? Play with your friends?
I'll play by myself.
Play by yourself. You learn the brachot. Bevakasha. Here's the game. Here's the box. And bring it back, though. Bring it back, please. Okay. Zat Hashem. Chodesh Tov. No. And someday you're all going to get 100 on this test?
Yeah.
Someday.
Test about
This. This. Oh. This. The month of the year, you see. Okay? You've done it before. Just have to memorize it.
Oh. It's two same?
Same. It's the same. Yeah, it's just a copy. You can make one. You give me that one. Okay.
Anything about this? No. Next week?
Yeah, maybe next week we'll use it. Yeah. So that we can. Yeah.
This morning I went with the invitation.
For what?
Earlier, and
For
some
what?
follow some home with the rabbi.